This is part 3 of the PowerPoint slides for Chapter 2. When we display in special characters, for example, if I want to display the copyright character, I have to use ampersand, copy, semicolon. The less than and greater than symbol, if I want those to appear, remember these are HTML tags definition, so they would assume that anything after that would be an HTML tag. So to display the less than and greater than symbol, we use the ampersand LT semicolon for less than, and we use ampersand GT semicolon for greater than. If we want the ampersand symbol to show up, we use the ampersand symbol amp and a semicolon. And sometimes we want to put blank spaces between items, and to do that, if we just put blank spaces, when the web browser renders it, it's just going to eat up all those blank spaces, and you're only going to have a single space. So you want more spaces, you have to use the ampersand no blank space and a semicolon. So this gives you an extra blank space wherever you put the NBSP. The next thing is the div element. A div element allows you to structure a block area or division on an empty web page, and we'll see later on we can divide the web page up into different columns or different sections, and we can do that with the div tag. So here's a basic structure of a web page. Notice we have a header area, and usually this is the company's logo that goes in this area or some type of saying. Then we have a navigational element that allows us to navigate the page. And then we have the main section. In the main section we have one or more divs that divides up the area. Notice here they got into 3 columns. We can have it as 1 column, or we can have it as 2 columns. Sometimes you might want 4, so we can change this up depending on what you want your web page to look like. And then we have our footer area for the page. And each one of these has HTML tags associated with it. The header has the header portion. The nav uses the navigational element uses nav. The main uses the main tag, and the footer uses the footer tag. So we'll be using a lot of these to create each of our web pages. And here's an example. So for this section here, we have header, and this will be Trillium Media Design for this particular header. We have the nav, and then we'll have home, services, and contact in that section. Then we'll have the main, and that's everything from here, new media design, all the way down to the bottom of the sends our expert designers. So all of this is the main section, and then down here is the footer section. Notice it's in small font, and it shows the copyright notice for the page. And this ends the body. So this is how most of them are done. So the next thing that we want to look at, next HTML element is the anchor element. Anchor element allows us to refer to other pages on our website, or maybe other websites. And all anchor tags has an A and a /A, and then we contain an anchor reference, hyperlink reference associated with that. So here's an example of one. Everything between this A after this closing bracket becomes a hyperlink until the /A. So this contact us is a hyperlink, and it'll hyperlink to this particular file, contact.html. Okay, this anchor reference can be either the file name, like at contact.html, or a URL, which is the address of a website. So let's look at the 2 differences. Here we have an absolute link. Notice an absolute link starts with HTTP, and then it has the website name. All right, so this Yahoo right here is going to be active as a link. Everything in between the A and the /A becomes a hyperlink. Here we have a relative link. It links to one of our own pages. Notice we just have the file name here, index.html, and we have this tag here for home. The default page for a web page is index.html. So all of our web pages, the very first page people come to on our website, we're going to name that file index.html. Next type of hyperlink is an email, so that people can send you email through your website. And notice this hypertext reference is mail to : and then the person's email address. All right, and then they put the email address here just so that people know what it is if this mail to doesn't work properly. So right now you should be able to create 3 different pages. All right, so home would be index.html. I would name this one services.html, and I would name this one contact.html. Now when you name in files, make sure you use all lowercase letters for your file names. On Windows-based system, it doesn't matter. Upper and lowercase are treated the same. But on Unix-based systems, on Apple-based systems, the case does matter. So if I have capital I index.html, it's entirely different than the file index.html. And the same thing with services and contact. And so for that reason, we want to make sure we name all our files in lowercase, because this can lead to some bugs. It'll work on a Windows platform. We move it to a Unix-based platform, then all our hyperlinks break because we name some files uppercase, some lowercase, and all our links have different cases in them, and they don't match up anymore. So you should know at this point what the purpose of the special characters are. You should be able to know when to use an absolute link and when to use a relative link. Now after we write the code, we want to make sure it's valid, so we run it through a validator, and here's the validator for that. So after you do your assignment, you're going to run it through this validator. You're going to make sure it passes, and you're going to do a screen capture and send that to me, showing that your code was valid. And I'll show you how to do that later. So in this chapter, we introduced you to HTML. You're going to use these skills over and over again as we create web pages. And we'll learn more and more HTML commands and how they work and expand on the commands that we learned this time. So that's the end of part 3.